Welcome to another useful session here at Explore English Online. I'm incredibly excited to guide you today through an engaging and effective language learning method known as the shadowing technique. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in your English journey or that speaking fluently still feels out of reach, then today's session will be a game changer for you. The shadowing technique is an incredibly powerful tool to improve your listening, speaking, pronunciation, and overall fluency in a way that's natural and highly effective. Whether you're a beginner or someone who's been learning English for years, this technique is designed to work for everyone. By the end of this session, you'll understand exactly how to use shadowing in your own practice and start seeing results quickly. Throughout this session, we'll explore what shadowing is, why it works so well, and how you can incorporate it into your daily routine. I'll be sharing detailed, real-life examples, including specific percentages that show how much it can improve your language skills. You'll also hear about some of the common mistakes learners make with shadowing, how to avoid them, and how to maximize the benefits of this technique. I encourage you to listen closely, take notes, and most importantly, practice shadowing as you listen to this session. The more you engage with the content, the more you'll get out of it. What is the shadowing technique? Let's begin by breaking down the concept of the shadowing technique. Essentially, shadowing is when you listen to audio, usually spoken English, and immediately repeat what you hear, mimicking the speaker as closely as possible. It's like following the speaker's voice with your own, hence the term shadowing. But why is this technique so powerful? Well, imagine you're listening to a native English speaker. As you repeat what they say, you're not just learning vocabulary or grammar. You're also training your brain to think in English. You're working on your intonation, your rhythm, your pronunciation, and even your listening comprehension. It's a multitasking exercise that strengthens multiple areas of your language abilities all at once. For instance, let's say you're listening to a TED Talk. The speaker might say, "I think the future is all about technology, but we must remember that human connection is irreplaceable." As you shadow the speaker, you repeat this sentence right after they say it, copying their pronunciation, intonation, and timing. As you do this, you're not just mimicking the words, but also internalizing the natural flow of the language. Why does shadowing work? Now that we know what shadowing is, let's explore why it works so effectively. Shadowing activates the brain's auditory and motor centers, which are responsible for processing sounds and producing speech. When you shadow, you're using both your listening and speaking skills at the same time, which accelerates your ability to understand and speak English naturally. Research shows that language learners who use shadowing techniques regularly improve their speaking fluency by up to 30% within just a few months. In fact, studies have shown that learners who practice shadowing for just 30 minutes a day can improve their speaking fluency by 50% in as little as 3 months, depending on their consistency and the quality of the material they are using. That's right, just 30 minutes of focused shadowing a day could make a huge difference in your language abilities. And the best part? You can do this anywhere. Whether you're commuting, exercising, or even doing household chores, you can shadow English content and make the most of your time. How to shadow effectively, step by step. Now that we've established the importance of shadowing, let's talk about how you can implement it in your language learning routine. It's crucial to follow a step-by-step approach to make shadowing as effective as possible. Let's dive into these steps. 1. Choose your content wisely. The first step in shadowing is choosing the right material. Start with something that matches your current level. If you're a beginner, choose content with clear, simple language. If you're more advanced, go for content that challenges you, such as sessions, TED Talks, or news broadcasts. For example, if you're just starting out, try shadowing slower-paced content like the BBC Learning English session or children's audiobooks. These materials are designed to be clear and easy to follow, making them great starting points. For intermediate or advanced learners, you can try shadowing TED Talks, sessions from the English we speak, or audio from movies and TV shows. Just make sure that whatever you choose, it's content that you enjoy. Shadowing can be a little challenging at first, and it's easier to stick with it if the material interests you. 2. Listen and repeat immediately. The next step is listening to your chosen content. But here's the trick. Don't just listen passively. Listen closely, and as soon as the speaker finishes a sentence or a phrase, immediately repeat it. You need to mimic their speech as closely as possible, paying attention to intonation, rhythm, and pronunciation. For example, if the speaker says, "The key to success is perseverance," you should repeat it exactly after they speak, making sure to match their tone and pace. You want to imitate them as closely as possible, like an actor learning a script. 3. Start slow, then build up. At first, it's okay to go slow. If you can't keep up with the speaker, that's completely fine. In fact, it's a good idea to pause the audio and repeat sentences at your own pace. Gradually, as your skills improve, try to speed up your shadowing. Eventually, you'll be able to follow along with native speakers at their normal speed. For example, during the first week, you might repeat just a few words or phrases at a time. By week 2 or 3, you'll be able to repeat full sentences. By the time you've practiced shadowing for a month or two, you'll likely be able to keep up with fast-paced native speakers. 4. Use transcripts for accuracy. If you're shadowing a session or video, it's helpful to use a transcript. A transcript is a written version of the spoken content, and it allows you to check your accuracy. As you shadow, refer to the transcript to ensure you're saying everything correctly. For example, if you're shadowing a podcast session and don't understand a word, look it up in the transcript and practice saying it. This will help you build both your vocabulary and pronunciation. 5. Record yourself. Another effective way to improve your shadowing is by recording yourself. After shadowing a sentence or two, record yourself speaking and compare your recording to the original. Are you matching the speaker's pronunciation? Are you mimicking their intonation? This will help you spot areas for improvement. Common mistakes to avoid. When shadowing, While shadowing is an incredibly powerful tool, many learners make some common mistakes. Let's take a look at some of these and discuss how to avoid them. 1. Not listening actively. One common mistake is listening to the material passively. Shadowing requires active listening. You can't just let the content wash over you. You need to engage with every word, every phrase, and every sentence to make sure you're copying it accurately. For example, if you're shadowing an English session and the speaker says, "Learning English isn't easy, but it's worth the effort," don't just repeat the words without thinking. Focus on how the speaker says it and then repeat it with the same energy and emphasis. 2. Not repeating immediately. Another mistake is waiting too long to repeat the speaker. Shadowing is most effective when you repeat the sentence immediately after the speaker finishes. If you wait too long, you may lose track of the rhythm and intonation. For instance, if you wait 5 seconds to repeat a sentence, you might forget the way the speaker said a specific word. This could cause you to mispronounce it. The key is to repeat as quickly as possible after the speaker. 3. Not varying your practice material. While shadowing is great for improving specific skills, it's important not to stick to one type of content. Vary your practice material to expose yourself to different accents, speaking styles, and vocabulary. This will help you become more adaptable in real-world conversations. For example, one week you might shadow a business session, while the next week you could shadow a session on technology. By varying the topics, you'll expand your vocabulary and become comfortable with different speaking styles. To sum up, the shadowing technique is one of the most effective ways to improve your English language skills, especially your listening and speaking abilities. By listening closely, repeating immediately, and focusing on accuracy, you can improve your fluency and pronunciation significantly. I hope this session has given you a clear understanding of how shadowing works and how you can start practicing it today. Remember, consistency is key. The more you practice, the faster you'll improve. Thank you for joining me on this session. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time for more tips and techniques on how to master the English language. Happy learning, and I'll see you in the next session.